Mike Pence moves towards a 2024 presidential run. Mike, buddy, you soulless, misogynistic, homophobic creep. I want to make sure you understand what the deal is for you in 2024. Not only because you're a bigoted religious fanatic who oversaw an increase in AIDS cases when you were governor of Indiana, because you substituted your opinion for the conclusions of medical experts and wouldn't allow for a widely successful needle exchange program to be implemented, but also because you're a coward who won't stand up to the people who would have seen you hanged, your family murdered, and the government you think you're going to run destroyed. Monkeypox has a better chance of securing the Republican nomination for president than you do. And you know what? People have more sympathy for the fly that landed on your head during the vice presidential debate than they do for you. Plus, at this point, I think the fly also has better name recognition. Apparently, only 25% of Americans think the country is on the right track. Well, 75% of us would be right. The country is on the wrong track, but we need to know why. Like, these polls are useless. When people read that, they think that's synonymous with saying it's all the Biden administration's fault. We need to understand why people are coming to that conclusion. And if people think it's because of the Biden administration, they need to be educated and understand that it's actually systemic. The reason the country is on the wrong track is because it's being hijacked by a minority of people, all of whom are Republican, who seem to think that their best path to unearned permanent minority power is to take away our rights systematically. A woman's right to choose, a woman's right to bodily autonomy, a pregnant person's ability to make decisions about that pregnancy. They even want to take, and actually have been wildly successful in taking the way of our children to go to school without risking being slaughtered by a weapon of war. That That is why the country is on the wrong track. So, less than 2 days after the slaughter of 19 10-year-old children and 2 teachers in a Texas elementary school, improbable I shouldn't say improbable, actually. It makes perfect sense that Herschel Walker would be the Republican candidate for Senate in Georgia. Anyway, now Senate candidate Herschel Walker was asked about the nation's gun violence problem and what we should do about it. His answer to that question started this way: Cain killed Abel, and that's a problem that we have. I'm not going to read any more because it will make your brain hurt. The guy is so unfathomably unintelligent. He is a self-confessed wife beater. He's somebody who fantasizes about murdering other people. He's a disgrace. The fact that this is the best the Republicans can come up with in Georgia just tells you how contemptuous they are of their voters and how contemptuous they are of Walker's opponent, Senator Raphael Warnock, who is actually not just an exemplary human being. He's also a really good senator, and it will be proof of where this country is heading if Walker is able to unseat Senator Warnock. Because again, Herschel Walker, I think I can't think of a word that's extreme enough to describe just what a worthless piece of garbage he is. At the beginning of an interview with Sky News reporter Mark Stone, Ted Cruz said there are 19 cents of parents who are never going to get to kiss their children goodnight. That's just so you're clear on this. That's Ted Cruz pretending he understands empathy. In response, Stone said, "Is this the moment for gun reform?" And that's kind of where things went off the rails. Cruz, of course, immediately became defensive and said, it's easy to go into politics. Stone, of course, pushed back because he's not American and said, but it's important. It's the heart of the matter. And Cruz followed by saying that's where the media likes to go. And again, because Stone is not American, and doesn't give a shit about access journalism, which is one of the most dangerous forms of journalism, if you can even call it that, in this country, he kept pressing. So Cruz said that Democrats and the media inevitably, when some violent psychopath murders people, call for reforms, as if somehow objecting to the senseless slaughter of 19 children and 2 adults was political. Uh, he basically ran out of the interview like brave, brave Sir Robin, because he doesn't have any answers that make any sense. None of these Republicans do. Ted Cruz knows as well as anybody else that the number of gun deaths, the number of mass murders because of guns in America is absolutely insane and literally off the charts. In the same period of time, America had 101 mass murders from guns, which was more than like every other country on the planet combined. The only reason this is the case is because of our ridiculous gun laws, which make these things inevitable. It is not about mental health. And by the way, even if it were, then maybe Governor Abbott of Texas shouldn't have cut $211 million from mental health spending in his state. But it isn't about mental health. It's not about video games. If it were about video games, then Japan would have more mass murders than any country on the planet. It's only about guns. It's only about the fact that we are the only country in this planet, and I hesitate to call us civilized anymore. We are the only country on this planet who allows 18-year-olds, criminals, people on no-fly lists, people with histories of domestic abuse, people with records of violent crime are allowed access to AR-15s and AK-47s and clips with dozens, if not hundreds of rounds that allow them to slaughter innocent children and adults by the dozens within matters of seconds. It's the guns. It's the guns. So Ted Cruz, seriously, I know that this is something evergreen to say, but please go fuck yourself. I'm so angry. I'm sorry. I'm so fucking angry.